to meet the 10% forest cover.
Tumeungana na hao Presidential Award Scheme na KEFRI kupanda miti katika hii uwanja. Na tunapanda miti kwa sababu mbili. Ya kwanza ni kuwa tunapenda environment yetu na tunapenda miti kwa sababu tunaelewa kuwa miti ndio inasafisha hewa katika environment.
The campaign is focusing on the planting of indigenous and bamboo trees in schools.
Today we planted indigenous trees. We have earlier planted bamboo seedlings, and therefore it's a mix of what the environment actually determines.
Timothy Brusso for Channel 1 News.
Let's stay with environmental conservation, and Kenyans are being encouraged to take advantage of the ongoing rainfall and plant as many trees as they can. An estate in Ruiru, Kiambu County appears to have already heeded the call, with residents coming out to plant trees in their locality. Caroline Kamau with the details.
At Versatile Estate in Ruiru, Kiambu County, men, women and children put aside their daily activities and embarked on a tree planting initiative. Led by the estate chairman Felix Wanjohi, the residents who started the initiative 5 years ago said they have become aware of the need to counter heavy carbon emissions by heavy traffic and industrial activities. Lucy Wangui, the chairperson in charge of the environment within the estate, said they will continue with the initiative to boost government efforts to achieve 10% forest cover. The residents said they have so far managed to plant in excess of 2,000 trees.
By now, we have planted 500 trees, and we are looking at several species, starting with the fruits type. We have mandimu, the lemons. We have mapera, indigenous trees. We also have the evergreen trees, and these are the trees that we have done some study to see that in this area they can survive.
Elsewhere, the management of Mount Kenya University MKU has partnered with Kenya Forest Services and other friends of environment to boost government tree planting efforts.
Plant one tree. You are being counted among the people who are making efforts to ensure that our country afforestation is at 10%. We are going to make our efforts, and with the support of the Kenya Forest Service, we are going to work together in ensuring that this place.
Caroline Kamau reporting for Channel 1 News.
On a separate matter, the body of a 93-year-old woman has finally been buried in a village in Machakos County after 17 years of a protracted legal tussle. Esther Nzakwa Kitivo died in 2004, but her family could not agree on an outstanding land dispute, forcing them to keep her remains in the mortuary for 17 years. Nancy Okware with the details.
On Saturday, the convoy carrying the body of Esther Nzakwa left the Machakos funeral home where she had lay for 17 years. This final journey signaling the beginning of yet another for the family, closure. Esther Nzakwa died in 2004, aged 93 years, and attempts to inter her body flopped, with the family awaiting the determination of a land tussle case in court.
Basket was brought here.
Nzakwa was the first of the three wives of Gideon Kitivo Ndambuki, who died in December 2000, aged 100 years. According to Kamba customs, the first wife is to be buried adjacent to her husband at their matrimonial home, which is still under contention. Nzakwa was buried at her son's home pending the determination of the case. The burial ceremony, which lasted slightly above an hour, saw a heavy police presence, with the family members recounting their times with her.
She ensured that if it is time for school, whoever was supposed to go to school, he or she went to school. And so through that, some of us is how we got education without dropping in school, because of our discipline and the insistence that we must learn.
She used to serve us with the njai, that is zabe, and we used to enjoy. We used to come with our bulls to plow. And in the evening, she used to give us 9 cents to go and buy some sweets.
A lady of high caliber, lady who could, help the youth, the young ladies in the church. So in a nutshell, vis-a-vis, she was excellent mama.
The family said her burial came as a huge relief after mourning her for nearly 2 decades.
We mourned, and tears were even dried because of time and all that.
We call for unity within the Kitivo family. All my uncles, we pray that they come together, they start a new chapter in their lives so that we do not have such a thing happening again.
Her children, who are now senior citizens, appealed to well-wishers to help them foot the mortuary bill, which has now hit close to 3 million shillings. Nancy Okware, Channel 1 News.
In politics, a section of leaders from Kiambu County is now reading malice from a move by a group who recently held talks with Deputy President purporting to speak on behalf of the county. The leaders claim it was hypocritical for such leaders to try and insinuate nothing has been done in the county by the current government.
The move by a section of leaders from Mount Kenya region to negotiate with Deputy President William Ruto on the future of the region has been termed by a section of leaders from the region as selfish and meant to seek individual gain. Kiambu Governor James Nyoro and Kiambu Town Member of Parliament Jude Njomo allege the meetings are a waste of time.
For those of us from the Mount Kenya region who are going to negotiate for their positions, saying that Mount Kenya has been neglected, I don't know neglected by who. For us who sit here and with Wanjiku, we know that there is development taking place. This is evidence. This is a historic study. So we want them to come so that we can certify and show them that there is development going on. And we also want to encourage our fellow politicians, members of parliament and everybody else to come and visit this study. This is the time to come and visit so that we can improve on certain. We can give credit to the president where it is due.
Sisi tunaona maendeleo inaendelea. Kama pengine ni kutembea, yes, president hajatembea sana. Lakini tulichagua president wa kutembea au wa kuleta maendeleo. Sasa kama angekuwa akitembea up and down na hakuna maendeleo inaendelea, tungesema namna gani? Angalia kwa bei ya kahawa. Jana tu katika gazeti imetangaza kahawa it is at the peak. Kwa sababu president mwenyewe alipush mpaka tukaweka sheria mpya ya uuzaji na ukuzaji wa kahawa. Hii ndio mwaka ya kwanza ambao kahawa itauzwa under hiyo sheria. Tunaona faida ile inatuletea. So, kama ni porojo, yes, president hajaleta porojo katika Central, lakini maendeleo ameleta na tunayaona.
Meanwhile, Kakamega Governor Wycliffe Oparanya now wants former Prime Minister Raila Odinga to support his presidential bid. The governor, who submitted his nomination papers for ODM's presidential ticket, said it was time for Odinga to return the favor by backing his bid.
Raila Odinga ndio kiongozi wetu, na mimi nimekuwa nyuma yake hii miaka yote. Nyinyi mnajua wale wako hapa, wakati tukifika wakati wa siasa, naambia mupigie Raila Odinga hapa. Lakini inafika wakati hata ukiwa kijana unaambia mzee, hata mimi nimetosha, sasa kuwa na boma langu, nionyeshe mahali naweza kujenga.
Sisi tunataka kuona huyu governor kwa hizo viti tatu: president, deputy president ama prime minister. Kama hiyo huyu governor hatakuwa, mimi sitakuwa mahali popote yenye mtakuwa.
For Channel 1 News, I'm Gladys Mungai.
You're watching Lunchtime News this Sunday afternoon. Thank you so much for your company. Keep talking to us. We have plenty more to come, but we first take our first commercial break. Stay with us.
umeomoka. Kama hujaomoka kwenye Quickbit ndio mambo yote. Hapa tuko na fridge, kodi yake ni CM. Tuko na gas cooker, kodi yake ni CK. Tuko na TV, kodi yake ni TV. Tuko na simu aina ya Samsung ni SM, ama Oppo ni Oppo. My friend, mahali popote unanitazama, eka hizo kodi zake kisha utume kwa 4032353. 4032353. Alafu utakuwa unaomoka na hizi bidhaa. Kumbuka kwenye Quickbit ni la bora zaidi kwa bei ya chini kwa chini. Ili kupata skiza tune hii lazima nishike kwa simu yako, bonyeza *811*962#. Lazima nishike mapema. Nisiposhika hii simu mapema utakasirika. Wacha mimi nijua mtu ya marathon na niko na experience kabisa. Niko na experience. If you don't hurry, you will not break the record. Okay, wacha nishike hii simu. Ili kupata skiza tune hii bonyeza *811*962#, *811*962#. This weekend on KBC Channel 1. Mwanangu nigaje kwa gavana kunataka msaada. Kunataka msaada. Kwa sababu yule lazima ujue wale askari ni wangapi pale ndani ambao wanamlinda. Basi ndio shanka uoga. Jeshi gani anakuwa namna hiyo? Kwa nini kazi? Sasa nadhani sote tunaelewa kilichotuleta.
This is Lunchtime News. Thank you so much for staying with us. Byron Abuli is our sign language interpreter. And for fourth day in row, India has set an unwelcome world record for the number of new coronavirus infections. A further 349,691 cases in the 24 hours to Sunday morning, with another 2,767 lives lost. The capital, Delhi, is one of the worst hit areas.
Delhi has been reporting more than 24,000 cases daily in the past few days. The hospitals are completely overrun and healthcare workers are exhausted. People in the city are now being forced to take dangerous journeys with their critically ill relatives to other cities which are 300 to 500 kilometers away. Sivesh Rana's brother was in a critical condition. The situation is not very different in other cities, including Pune, Nashik, Lucknow, Bhopal, Indore and Allahabad, as a second COVID wave devastates the country. India reported 349,000 cases on Friday, a record daily spike. It reported 2,767 deaths, but experts say the actual numbers are likely to be much higher. Getting tested has become very difficult in many cities as labs are overrun. In Spain, a man has been arrested on suspicion of assault after allegedly infecting 22 people with COVID. The 40-year-old is alleged to have continued to go to work and the gym despite having a cough and a temperature of more than 40 degrees. He is said to have walked down his place of work in Mallorca, pulling his mask down, coughing and telling colleagues he was going to infect them. 5 colleagues and 3 fellow gym goers later tested positive. Another 14 people, family members of the infected, also came down with COVID, including 3 one-year-olds. For Channel 1 News, I'm Omboi Otiende.
Time for the sport news. Manchester City could have Kevin De Bruyne and Sergio Aguero available for Tottenham's clash as they look to win the Carabao Cup for a record equaling 8th time. Pep Guardiola's side have won the past 3 finals and 5 finals of the past 7 Carabao Cup finals.
The Carabao Cup goes again to Manchester City.
Sergio Kun Aguero could get the chance to make one final Wembley appearance for Manchester City. The club's record goal scorer is in contention for Sunday's Carabao Cup final tie against Tottenham after returning to training following a muscular problem. In a further boost for the Premier League leaders, playmaker Kevin De Bruyne could also feature after an ankle injury. Aguero, who is leaving City when his contract expires at the end of the season, has endured an injury-ravaged campaign. On the other side, Tottenham are still sweating on the fitness of Harry Kane for the clash, with a decision set to be made on whether to risk him in the starting lineup. Interim boss Ryan Mason will lead the side out at Wembley for the first time as a coach.
Leeds boss Marcelo Bielsa has revealed winger Rafinha is struggling to recover in time from the thigh injury he sustained against Manchester City as the team looks forward to clinch a win against second-placed Manchester United. Thomas Tuchel says that Chelsea trust themselves to perform against Real Madrid after beating West Ham 1-0 to strengthen their grip on the top four.
Position. Here's Chilwell. Werner!
Timo Werner's first goal since February saw off the Hammers and means the Blues head for Spain's capital with confidence. Sky high for Tuesday's Champions League semi-finals with Real Madrid. West Ham struggled to create chances and finished the game with 10 men after Fabian Balbuena was showed a straight red card in the 81st minute after catching Chilwell's leg with his follow-through while making a clearance. Thomas Tuchel says Chelsea trusts themselves to perform against Real Madrid after beating West Ham to strengthen their grip on the top four. Today, Manchester United will be hoping to reduce the gap between them and leaders Manchester City as they travel to take on Leeds at Elland Road. Manchester United forward Marcus Rashford is still nursing a foot injury but could be involved despite not training during the week, while Eric Bailly is in contention after recovering from COVID-19. Winger Rafinha is struggling to recover in time from the thigh injury he sustained against Manchester City. In other matches, Wolves host Burnley and Aston Villa take on West Brom.
Elsewhere, Michael Saruni last night won the men's 800-meter race at the Eugene Continental Tour Gold at the Hayfield Stadium in Oregon, the USA. The men's 400-meter race, Emmanuel Correa finished in fourth place.
Former world record holder in the men's indoor 600 meters, Michael Saruni, last night won the 800-meter race at the USA Track and Field Grand Prix in Eugene, the first World Athletics Continental Tour Gold meeting of 2021. Saruni had to kick in the final 200 meters to win the race in 1 minute 46.64 seconds.
Really competitive race, not really the kind of times that we would expect. Definitely didn't go with that pacemaker.
In the men's 400 meters, Emmanuel Correa, who's part of Kenya's team to the World Relays, taking place in Poland next weekend, finished fourth in a season's best of 45.79 seconds, behind Americans Michael Norman, Rai Benjamin and Justin Robinson.
Justin Robinson, the teenager, to take third, and Michael Norman, 44.67. Only 100th of a second, Jen, outside his personal best.
Two-time African champion Blessing Okagbare won the women's 100 meters in 10.97 seconds.
Got a good one. Okagbare, though, starting to come through now. Akinosa nearest the camera, just about Okagbare, and she will take it 11 seconds flat for Blessing Okagbare.
Shona Mila-Wibo of the Bahamas opened up a clear margin on the rest of the field down the home straight to win the women's 400-meter race in 49.08 seconds, the fastest time of her career. It also chopped 0.26 seconds from the previous stadium record set in 2003 by Ana Guevara.
49.08 for a season opener, 0.6 of a second there or thereabouts outside that personal best, and no surprise, the fastest time in this fledgling early stage year.
For Channel 1 Lunchtime Sport, I am Daniel Wahome.
And Kamaru Usman scored a stunning second-round knockout to finish George Masvidal and retain the undisputed UFC welterweight title at UFC 261 in Florida. The bout, which took place in front of 15,000 fans in Jacksonville, was a rematch of their meeting at UFC 251, where Masvidal stepped in on 6 days' notice but lost out to Usman on the scorecards after 5 grueling rounds.
Knockout, and still the
American Masvidal said that he will fare better after a full training camp, while Nigerian Osman promised to deliver an even more decisive victory in the rematch to register his fourth successive title defense. The pair engaged in a thrilling back-and-forth battle through round one, with both men enjoying success on the feet, while Osman scored a significant takedown midway through the round. Meanwhile,
before we wind up, let's revisit one of our top stories. An initiative aimed at training survivors of gender-based violence on business management has been launched in Kilifi County, dubbed the COVID-19 Resilience Program, spearheaded by Center for Rights Education and Awareness. The move aims at economically empowering the survivors.
At the heart of Kilifi, survivors of gender-based violence narrate their experiences. Josephine Wanjala, not her real name, disclosed that since April last year, life has taken a toll on her after being allegedly tortured by her husband in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Tumeishi na yeye miaka 20, lakini wakati COVID ilipoanza akaanza kubadilika. Mara anaenda, arudi, mara anakuja, mara nasikia na wanawake huko nje. Na wakati mwingine sasa akawa mambo yamebadilika, tulikuwa tuna hoteli, lockdown ilipokuja mambo yakabadilika sana.
The mother of 3 reveals that she was once beaten by her husband to an extent that she had a miscarriage.
Kuja mara anaamua tunakorofishana, hatuelewani kwa ajili yeye anasema mimi na demand so much kwa ajili na yeye hapati pesa na kazi zimeharibika. Tuliambiwa kazi hoteli zifungwe, yani tukawa ni lockdown, tukakaa, chakula itoshi na watoto wangu ni mabarubaru, maana nina mvulana mmoja mkubwa na wasichana 2 mapacha. So nikawa ninamueleza, tukawa tunakosana mpaka nilikuwa na mjamzito, tukakosana mpaka kanipiga ikatoka.
Joyce Kazungu, also not her real name, a graduate, had been living with her husband for 1.5 years. She alleges that during this time he tortured her psychologically.
Nazarudi nyumbani amelewa, napigwa kila siku, ilikuwa ni issue, lakini sasa wale majirani ukiwaelezea walikuwa yani hata they were not yani welcoming, unaona kwamba shida zako nini, unasikia watu wakisema si mwenyewe alijileta nini, mambo kama hayo. Sasa na pale nyumbani pia huwezi rudi, manake ulitoka kule nyumbani ukaenda kuolewa.
To address the plight of gender-based violence victims, the Center for Rights Education and Awareness Kenya has launched a COVID-19 resilience program offering training to survivors of gender-based violence on business management, after which 1,000 of them will be selected to benefit from loans with small interest for startups to cushion them from COVID-19 pandemic.
Most women have faced gender-based violence due to sharing of limited resources that has been brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic. As such, under the Economic Empowerment Department, we have come up with financial inclusion programs that are targeting the most vulnerable women that have gone through the violence of gender-based.
The organization's Women Economic Empowerment Officer, Moses Okello, says there has been a surge of gender-based violence cases occasioned by the COVID-19 pandemic, and it was paramount to help the victims.
Under financial inclusion programs, we provide our women beneficiaries or target groups with financial literacy trainings, business management and entrepreneurship skills, so that they are able to start up, grow and manage their business. Cash transfer interventions are able to help them to actually start the business, or if already they are in business, to help them to grow the business that they are already operating.
Reporting for Channel 1 News, I'm Jackie Wambiru.
That report brings us to the end of Lunchtime News. It's always a great pleasure having you company. David Otewa, you are tuned in from Garissa County. Thank you so much for watching. And Ibrahim Ochieno watching from Nyeri County. Thank you, Ibrahim, also for your kind words. And at Ed Mbivi, also tuned in. William Mamburi from Watamu with your wife, Rosemary Njeri. Thank you, Dennis Otieno watching from Bondo. I'll see you again at 9 p.m. God willing. I'm Purity Museo. Byron Abuli has been a sign language interpreter this afternoon. Do enjoy the rest of your afternoon and God bless you.
Vera Beauty and Fashion College, with branches in Nairobi, Eldoret, Thika, and Meru. Did you know that we are a TVET-approved institution? We offer courses in fashion design, interior design and soft furnishing, event decoration, flower arrangement, event planning, hairdressing, barbering and dreadlocks, beauty therapy, makeup, nail technology, spa massages, teaching skills, TOT, solo business management, and many more. Register now and visit our website on www.verabeautycollege.com. You can also call on 0725-923-550 Nairobi branch, 0728-087-689 Eldoret branch, 0722-227428 Thika branch, 0725-000-706 Meru branch. Vera Beauty and Fashion College, a TVET-approved institution.
Je, umeomoka? Kama hujaomoka kwenye Quickly ndio mambo yote. Hapa tuko na fridge, kodi yake ni CM. Tuko na gas cooker, kodi yake ni CK. Tuko na TV, kodi yake ni TV. Tuko na simu aina ya Samsung ni SM, ama Oppo ni Oppo. My friend, mahali popote unanitizama, eka hizo kodi zake kisha utume kwa 4032353. 4032353. Alafu utakuwa unaomoka na hizi bidhaa. Kumbuka, kwenye Quickly ni bila bora zaidi kwa bei ya chini kwa chini.
As we tell our different stories, we are capable, beautiful, we are born to do big things. We're unstoppable, incredible, 'cause we're differently abled, differently.
Welcome to Able Differently, where we always take charge. I am Jane Theory, and I'll be taking you through today's episode. We'll be looking into the lives of parents who have to take care of special needs children, and also issues regarding coping mechanisms for people who have emotional instability once they acquire a disability much later in life. Stay tuned.
'Cause we're differently abled, differently.
Children with special needs require a lot of attention, and many parents and caregivers of such children go an extra mile to ensure that they get the best of life. This is the story of Ian, as narrated by his parents Aisha and Okari. Take a look.
Aisha Ayango is a mother to a special needs child and a teacher by profession. While she was pregnant with her firstborn child, Aisha remembers having stomach problems that she brushed off as being symptoms of pregnancy.
Kwa majina naitwa Aisha Ayango, mimi ni mamake Ian Samuel. I'm a teacher by profession.